I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Hey guys, welcome to Happy Wax TV. This is horror movie news. And yeah, let's just jump right into it here. So a bunch of things. First of all, I think there's some news that we all knew was going to happen. Some sad news and some awesomely could be epic news if everything kind of happens, but we'll get to that. First, let's go to what we thought, or the news that I think that we all knew, that Venom killed it at the box office. It brought in over $200 million worldwide, 80 million domestically, and then another 125 million globally. And this thing hasn't even opened in China yet. So this thing, like, Venom's gonna make a killing. It had a budget of about $100 million, not including all of the advertising. So I'm sure you could add on another, God knows how much for that. But I mean, it's already banged out over $200 million, which makes it the highest opening movie of all time in October. And if this was going to be, well, it's not a horror movie, I can assure you of that. It's funny and it's sad because during some of the previews, they kind of told you it was going to be like a horror movie. But then, as the studio execs usually do, they pull all the fucking good gore scenes or out of it to make it a PG-13 movie. Actually, even Tom Hardy threw this movie under the bus, saying that he has a bunch of scenes that were his favorite and they weren't even in the movie. They were cut out. So much like The Meg and Slender Man, well, not so much Slender Man, but The Meg for sure, all the gory goodness was cut out of the movie, and I'm sure it'll be in the Blu-ray, in the director's cut. But yeah, they're estimating that this movie's going to make between $700 and $800 million by the time it's all done its theatrical run. So I mean, we'll definitely be seeing another one. Now, I saw this movie opening night, and I did not like it. I thought it was okay. I mean, I love Tom Hardy. I think he's a great actor, and I thought he did a really good job in this movie. But overall, it was silly, and like the action sequences were, you know how when they cut them so fast, they're almost blurry. That's what it was. And the fight scenes and the ending was ridiculous. I didn't like it. And you know what? It's getting fucking raked over the coals by critics and fans alike. So I guarantee we're going to see a massive downfall in this movie next week. So, but yeah, for the first opening week, I mean, everyone's going to go see this flick. That's a comic book hero or super book hero, and I mean, really, Venom is a massively popular comic book character in the Spider-Man universe, and man, I haven't seen too many good reviews on it. There's been some reviews where they've kind of let it pass a little bit, but even, I mean, the majority of people are saying that this movie really shit the bed. And I'm not a huge comic book guy, so I don't really follow the character through the comic books, but I mean, I thought he looked cool and all, but overall the movie was the shits. What else are we talking about? House with the Clock on the Walls added another $7.2 million for 55 million domestic total, and 79 million in worldwide. So it's made almost $80 million worldwide, which I guess is pretty good on a $42 million budget. But then you add in all the advertisement for it, so it's, they should break even. But overall, it's not doing very well, and that's a shame, really, because I do like Jack Black. Eli Roth, I don't really care for. Most of his movies are shit. I think he's really overrated for the stuff he puts out. But it is what it is. That's just my opinion. But Jack Black, on the other hand, I think he is fucking genius. And yeah, it's a shame that it didn't do better. But you know what, though? I can see a lot of parents looking at this movie and not really seeing it as a kid's movie, so maybe that was the problem. But I don't know. It's doing okay, but according to, whatever, they're saying that it's not making the money that they thought it was going to make. Hellfest is really shit in the bed too. It made $2 million this week with a total gross of 9.5. So I'm not sure they're gonna. I guess what I was reading a while ago was they had a whole thing lined up where they were gonna make this Hellfest into like a Conjuring style series, and I don't know if that's gonna happen now, just because it's not doing very well at the box office. But you know what really hurt it though, is there was a movie that got released a couple weeks before Hellfest come out called Bloodfest, and I think a lot of people watched that, and the two movies look so similar that I'm thinking anyways, that they saw Bloodfest on video on demand, which isn't that bad of a movie. I mean, it was okay. And then they're thinking, well, Hellfest looks exactly the same, so why go see the same fucking movie? So I'm guessing, no one's really talking about that, but that's just my 2 cents. I think that Bloodfest looks so similar to Hellfest that people are steering away from Hellfest because they've already seen it in the video on demand movie. So, and then The Nun is chugging along. So far it's made $346 million worldwide, which is a killing. And it's a shame. Well, it's not a shame. You never want to see a movie do poorly. But The Nun, again, I've said this to, you guys already know, it's a piece of shit. It really isn't that good of a movie. And then the other movie, well, actually there is one movie that I'm glad didn't do well, and it's The Predator. So, I mean, it's made 100 and, well, actually, and it dropped. Every week I keep talking about how much it's dropping. So it's dropped another 76%. It didn't even make $1 million this week. $900,000 it brought in this weekend. So it's got a grand total worldwide of $123 million on an $88 million budget. And then you tack on all the advertisement after that, and there was a shit ton of it. So this thing is going to take a massive loss. So fuck you, Shane Black, for making such a horrible piece of shit of a movie. I can't believe that, like these guys can't get these movies right. You know what I mean? Like, The Predator is such an iconic character, and it's just, I don't know, man. There's just some of the movies that have come out. Like, Robert Rodriguez, I think, got it right. But, in the original one, but I don't know. This Shane Black movie, man, it just sits bad with me as to how bad it was. They turned it into a fucking comedy. It was brutal, so, and everybody involved in that looks good on you for making such a fucking pile of shit. So, anyways, obviously, like I called it, this week's big box office movie was Venom, but I think we all saw that coming, and because it really didn't have anything else to compete with. So, but you know what? That's good. I mean, as much as I didn't like it, it's whatever. So I will definitely be seeing a sequel. I don't want to give any spoilers, and I won't. But just the way they ended it, we'll be seeing definitely a sequel. So now on to some sad news. When Walking Dead, when it first came out, as I think everybody else, was in love with this series. It was amazing. There was nothing else like it on TV. It was crazy. It was gory. There was tons of zombies. It was great. And then as the years went on, it just got worse and worse and worse. And now it's almost unwatchable. You know what I mean? They're trying really hard. I didn't even watch episode 1, season 9 last night, but I haven't even read any reviews on it, so I'm not sure how it did. But I don't know, man. And I read somewhere too that they've signed on for another 10 seasons or something stupid. I don't know. It's ridiculous. They really need to just fucking put it to bed. But anyways, sad news. Is Scott Wilson has passed away, and I believe, I believe he was 76. For those of you who don't know who he is, he played Hershal on The Walking Dead. Now, what I was getting at earlier was The Walking Dead was great right up until the season. Like, I loved the farm where we got introduced to Hershal. I loved his character. And then The Walking Dead went downhill after they left his farm, and they got into that prison nonsense, and then the governor and all that crap. But the season where the majority of the show was shot on Hershal's farm, and we got to know his character and his beliefs and just how awesome he was, and it really made the show great. And then obviously the governor killed him, and I really haven't watched the show much after that. But man, he was a great actor. He was in so many movies. Like, one of the first movies I remember him from was The Right Stuff, but he was in The Exorcist 3. What else? The Ninth Configuration, Dead Man Walking. He was in Twilight Zone episodes. He was on The X-Files. Like, if you IMDb Scott Wilson and you see the list of movies he was in, this guy was fantastic. But now again, once he got off The Walking Dead, He was a very private and you know, he wasn't in the spotlight very much. But I guess he was battling leukemia, which sucks. So yeah, I guess he died peacefully in his home with his family around him, they're saying. So that's good. I guess anytime you want to pass, you know, you want your family around you, and hopefully he didn't suffer too much with leukemia. I don't know a lot about that disease, but I know it's not very pleasant. But yeah, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. 76, I mean, that's a fairly long life. I mean, it would have been nice to maybe get another 10 years, but you know, I think he lived a pretty happy life. I mean, being a movie star and, you know, kind of having, like I said, he was in a ton of movies, but I mean, you know, everybody's going to kind of remember him, I think, for The Walking Dead as Hershal. So it's sad to see him go at the age of 76, and I hope he went calmly and peacefully. Now, on to some exciting new news. Oh, my buddy, George Romero. Okay, so we lost him about a year ago or so. He was a legend, and again, I said this when he passed. I think he would still be with us if he didn't smoke so much. I mean, I know I shouldn't be laughing. I mean, it's sad that he's gone, but man, every time you saw him, whether he was, you know, in a directorial or an interview when he was outside or just anywhere, he always has a cigarette in his mouth. I'm like, dude, you need to stop smoking. Like, just stop smoking. It's no good for you. There's absolutely nothing good about smoking, and that, you know, led to his demise because he died of cancer. So it's a shame, you know, but hey, whatever. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But it's just, you know, it's much better having George Romero with us than not with us. So, but if there is any good news, I guess, there was an interview done with his wife, and I guess she was saying that he has some movies that have been made that we have not seen. Now they're older. I guess there's one shot back in 1973 that she's actually going to release. Now it's not a zombie movie, but I mean it's a George Romero movie nonetheless. And then I guess she was saying that he's got like 50 scripts, finished scripts that can be made into movies. So who knows? I mean, his wife's on board, and I mean his son is actually a movie director who has a couple movies out as well. So I mean, and they're actually, I mean, it's had some hiccups, but they're saying here that Road of the Dead is still in the works and will get done. And that was a movie that George Romero was producing before he passed away. So we are gonna, you know, we'll see that movie still, and then the movie from 1973 that his wife's gonna restore and put out. And then she's also saying that he's got a couple other movies, you know, in the can that we've never seen. And all these scripts, 50 scripts that he's got done. So, I mean, if you get the right people on board, I mean, we could see some more, you know, obviously not directed George Romero movies, but George Romero stories, you know what I mean, which would be fucking awesome. So, because I'm honestly, I'm a huge fan of George Romero. I love him. In fact, I even have him on my arm here, immortalized as a zombie on my arm. So I love the guy. It was very sad when he passed. So, yeah, I hope we definitely, you know, get to see some of those scripts. I don't care if they're zombie movies or whatever. I mean, he's made so many good movies that weren't zombie movies, like The Crazies, Martin, I mean, just to name a few. So, I mean, the guy's a genius. So, anyways, that's all for movie news this week. We got some good news, we got some bad news, and we got some news I think we all knew was going to happen. So, anyways, yeah, I guess that's it. Hopefully we get to see these scripts. That's all I care about. I don't care about Venom. Well, I do care about Scott Wilson passing. I mean, he seemed to be a really great guy. But I mean, I just, yeah, I want to see some of these these scripted, ready to go George Romero movies. So hopefully that happens. So, anyways, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hop over to Happy Wax TV and sign up on Facebook. It'd be nice to have you as part of some of our watch parties when I show classic horror movies. And yeah, until next time, guys. Stay scared.